There's no one here but you and I. This neon town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Carissa. Stayed up through the days and night, lay and we watched the world get light. Hey, Carissa. Sunlight, freedom in your eyes. Please don't leave now. Photo of you in my mind, on the table under lights. There's no one here but you and I. This neon town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Carissa. Stayed up through the days and night, lay and we watched the world get light. Hey, Carissa. Sunlight, freedom in your eyes. Please don't leave now. I stayed awake last night, 'cause I couldn't close my eyes and see you another night. I drove myself crazy thinking you'd take my wildest dreams and tear them all to the ground. So I tried to create a decoy world for you to destroy in my mind. You could stay and believe you're tearing me apart while I'm coming to life, while I'm coming to life. I couldn't keep the secret. You found my darkest demons and brought them out in the light. So I ran to all the preachers, despite having every reason to shut down and mobilize. What I'm saying might be reckless, but I meant it when I said it. And I know I might regret it, but it's time I give a lesson. Hope your feelings, they don't listen. No, when I'm not where you are, it's this feeling in my heart, and it aches when we're apart. I can't stand to see. Endless sun as the days go on forever. There's no place for time when you're young. Can't find the words, but we know how we feel. Could we stay longer here in the summer? In the summer. Oh no.
I drop bombs, yeah.
Sleeping alone, and I've been eating alone, hiding under the stairs, even though no one's home. And if you're living in the daylight, or living underground, they're sending a message that someone's watching. I don't care if someone's watching. Watch through the screen. He hatched thoughts at the supermarket, never closed to see. With the cameras hanging on plastic rings, he always had the feeling that someone's watching. And now she's sleeping alone. And now she's eating alone, hiding under the stairs, even though no one's home. And if you're living in the daylight, or living underground, they're sending a message that someone's watching. I don't care if someone's watching.
Yeah. Any other day I would wake up, yeah, press start on my K-cup, think about the time you take up, while you put on your makeup, but that makeup don't hide those lies you tell. We go round and round on this carousel. I can see the signs, baby, you can spell. Being hits you is ACRL. Peace. Think about the time you take up while you put on your makeup.
Please don't worry about a thing. Please don't worry. Please don't worry. Please don't worry about a thing. I'm sorry, baby, but it didn't mean a thing. I can see you're hurting. I know all the worry that it brings. Just believe when I tell you that it didn't mean a thing. 'Cause you're the one that I want, so please don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Ain't it funny how all the games played out? Like I don't know what you're doing when you stay out. Try to lock me down, I had to break out. Cause you lie, repeat, rewind, retweet, then act like hoes that you see on TV. What a crying shame with a body on that frame and a half a brain. Think about the time you take up while you put on your makeup.
Please don't worry about a thing.
Think about the time you take up while you put on your makeup.
Please don't worry about a thing. I'm sorry, baby, but it didn't mean a thing. I can see you're hurting. I know all the worry that it brings. Believe when I tell you that it didn't mean a thing. 'Cause you're the one that I want, so please don't worry about a thing.
Any other day you could lie to me and I said, baby, it'll be okay. But today is not one of those special days, and baby girl, I'll be on my way. I'm doing me, and any other day you can cry to me and I'ma wash those tears away. But everybody knows that you play it sweet, girl, you ain't no Sarah Lee. I'm doing me. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Ain't it funny how all the games played out? Like I don't know what you're doing when you stay out. Try to lock me down, I had to break out. Cause you lie, repeat, rewind, retweet, then act like hoes that you see on TV. What a crying shame with a body on that frame and a half a brain. Damn. Yeah, 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 yeah. With a body on that frame and a half a brain. Yeah, 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 yeah. With a body on that frame and a half a brain. Damn.
Guys like that got a Lambo on a bad lease, but he'll make sure that you see. Guys like that got a visa that he don't pay, and he won't remember your name. I don't wanna see you hold on to that. I don't wanna see you hold on. 'Cause he's too smooth, yeah. He's got a couple lines that he uses every night. Yeah, he's too smooth, yeah. If you take him home tonight, he won't leave you satisfied. Come and dance with me. Come and dance with me. Come and dance with me. 'Cause he's too smooth, too smooth. Guys like that, they got nicknames in their phones, and they
Hello and welcome. Welcome, I am here and I'm ready to bring you another exciting season of a set of course of racing. This time we are in the RSS F3 cars, a new delight and a bit of a change to the usual GT3s, but we start off the season here at Donington Park in Leicestershire. The format for this season is a 15-minute qualifying, and then we do proceed with a 35 minutes feature race, and then a short 5-minute break while all the grids adjusted, and we do a sprint race for 25 minutes, which will have the top 8 from the previous race reversed. So it's going to provide us with hopefully some great action-packed racing, some good things coming our way, some great overtaking, stuff like that. So hopefully we'll have a good go at it, should I say? Anyway, let's hop into the race. Oh well, into the server, I should say. We're just coming to the end of the practice session. Tom Basley currently leading the way with 1:15.066, and Baz Boomer the next behind on a 15.3. So a little bit of a gap there, but just saw a little spinner coming out of the turn 12 there onto the main straight. But we'll see what sort of times we're getting in qualifying, because of course maybe some drivers just testing out setups, testing out other things, high fuel load things. We don't know for sure that everyone's going at it constantly, and Samuel just takes a little detour across the grass there. He will rejoin the circuit. But yeah, this is our little off-season, should I call it, the extravaganza as it's been named. This and the iRacing MX5 Cup are going to be running in parallel. MX5 will be on the, for the most part, the season will be on the sort of opposite week to the Formula 3, so they'll run every other week. Apart from towards the end, I think there may be some overlaps there. However, if you haven't checked out the ACRL MX5 Cup, there's a nice VOD for you to watch over on the YouTube channel. Some great racing in that one, so I implore you to try and have a go of that, or even sign up if you feel like it. Should be a lot of great racing in that one. Hopefully that will make its way over to this category as well. Open wheels always a little bit more dangerous to race closely than the MX5s. Much higher speed, a lot less stability. It's a different kind of racing. Tom taking a very wide entrance into that corner there, getting as much speed as he can onto the start-finish straight, and then moving all the way over to the left to get a shorter run as possible to that first corner. Just a slight smidge off that apex in towards Redgate, but now he's sending it down towards the old hairpin. A lovely piece of tarmac. A lot of drivers probably been having issues in this section of the lap. It's easy to lose the car there as it sort of compresses at that old hairpin, and all the way up to McLean's now. Another tricky corner to get right, even just slightly offline there causes a lot of issues. Oh, he does just lose it there. And into the gravel, that's not good, and that's not going to be any more laps for him. Some very nice liveries around as well, I have to say, but we are about to go into qualifying, so let's just have a look at those results from the practice session. Coming in at the top was Tom Basley, as I just mentioned, that 15.066, and Baz Boomer actually did close the gap up slightly toward the end of that session. 15.2 for him, but then a 4/10 of a gap to Bien Major, and Pete Roll not far behind them. Jonas Koberstein and Michael Kundakigolu are the next couple. Just towards the middle of the pack. Team is doing pretty well. Comes very closely knit drivers here. Dirk Piho, Sylvain Villette-Petter, all within about, well, all within 9 thousandths of a second or so. That'll be some good battling towards the midfield. But we'll see what else we can get going from this. Hopefully, as I said, it's probably going to be more of a 2-horse race up at front between Tom and Baz, 2 stars of the GT3 season as well. So we'll see what that will produce. Baz always seems to have good starts as well, but we're not even made it through qualifying yet, and I'm already talking about the start, but I'm just so eager. In the meantime, we do have just a couple of minutes before qualifying starts, just to discuss. There's been a lot of very nice liveries on this grid. Let's have a look at a few of them if we can. Nope, that's not worked. That has definitely not worked. We'll hold off on that one. But if you feel like it, you can have a read of the chat, see what they're talking about. Looks like they're talking about fuel. It's always a classic one. Fuel before a race. How many litres do I need? You should have checked, shouldn't you? Also some tyre talk in there. Yeah, there's a couple of people saying the fuel does hurt these cars very badly. Every extra litre is a bit of a burden on the car with them being so light. The proportion of the fuel weight just is much more impactful compared to like the GT3 cars, which do weigh a lot more on their own. So a bit of extra fuel doesn't generally hurt as much because the obviously the actual increase of percentage is less. So it's a lot easier to run a car more overfueled in GT3 rather than these very lightweight Formula 3 cars. So we are getting going here. All the cars make their way out. Sylvain Villette, the first one to leave the pits. With a lovely white Pike sponsorship there. Oh god, I really hope someone's got a Rich Energy sponsorship on their car. That's would give me a lot of content for this one, but I don't think anyone will. I think it's just going to be the white on its own. But a very lovely livery either way for that Supernova racing team. Very lovely indeed. We'll ride on board with Sylvain for this first lap. See how he sets this one up. See the halos as well on these cars. I personally don't mind the halos. Haven't done at all since they were introduced. I am all for them. I don't think they make the cars look that badly, and especially with these new rules coming in for the Formula 1, they're going to look a lot nicer with the cars being more integrated rather than a bolt-on, or a strap-on, should I say. Yeah, Sylvain uses all of the track there. Sorry, into that first corner, to Red Gate, and now down towards Old Hairpin. Can he keep it steady? Doesn't want to go too heavy into that first lap. Does take a bit of caution through that one, rather than bidding it straight away very early on, just because you have to drive back to the pits if you spin out or have a crash, whatever. You do have to drive back to the pits. So if you run out the fuel, you're doubly buggered. So yeah, it's better to keep things tidy on the early laps, build a bit of momentum up, start pounding out those laps a little later on, but very sort of clean, cautious so far from Sylvain. Into that tight hairpin. Now into Goddard's turn 12. See what lap this will produce. 118.7, nothing too special. A few seconds off the pace from the practice. And immediately Baz and Supiam go in just ahead of him. Baz with a 15.8, still not quite at the pace of the practice runs, but as I said, people taking their time early on. There's no need to go straight into the gravel pit. Timmy getting a little bit of a slipstream there down the straight. However, it's not going to help him into the corners at all. There's a lot of these Supernova cars on the grid. I think there's 3 squads of them. There's the orange, the blues, and the reds, I think. So those white sponsorships littering the grid. As I say, there's another one in front as well. Getting a little toe from his teammate. That is very close. And then there's another Supernova behind as well. So I assume the one behind will be Baz Boom and the other orange covered one. And oh, there's a bit of contact there. Bien going into the back of his teammate. Or sister car, I should say. Not technically teammates. Not no doubt have damaged his front wing and possibly the rear of that other Supernova. Does Baz have any success ballast yet? No, not yet. I'm afraid it doesn't carry over from a GT3 season. We need to introduce the Baz tax. Every Baz Baumer, should I say, gets a free 20-kilogram ballast. Pete gets a nice lap and goes into 3rd with that one. Stephen Mundy currently on his outlaps, currently sat in towards 13th with a 1:17. So he's again very tight around that pack. Kraus just ahead of him, and then Petter with just a 16.9. And Soggy behind is just 17.1, so a lot of time to be made up in that mid field. You thought Phil was going to be Baz's success ballast. Do you mean by like having him sit on Baz's car, or is Phil the actual ballast? And a bit of a lock up there for Stephen. He keeps it on the tarmac, but that's not going to help his run onto this lap. We lost a bit of time down that straight. And he's definitely lost a lot of time now with that spin. That retro livery. Doesn't look as graceful when it's spinning than it does when it's headlong into the through the track. Where is Phil? Who knows? It could be anywhere. It could be on the toilet. Don't know. The classic Voffel sandbag. Sat in pits. Come out with 5 minutes left and banging a 115 dead. He was just hamstrung by the GTR in the GT3 season. Oh, you think he's just going to sit in the pits the entire race, the entire qualifying? Not even do a single lap? Well, we'll see. Just having one of those cars spinning out in front of him. Always lovely to see. And there's Tom Basley spinning round. Obviously pushing too hard on his lap. I'm expecting a lot of sends this race, or these races I should say, with these sprints rather than a full hour and a half endurance. It's going to be a lot of people wanting to make up ground quickly. I can just feel it in my bones, and it makes me excited, but it also makes me petrified. I can't wait to see which one it's going to be. Ooh, that's very close to the grass there. I think if you put your wheel on that grass on the outside, it's going to be a not fun time, is one way to explain it out of coppice. When he gets it just on the right white line. Yeah, the liveries are awesome this season. I was just saying as I went live that it was a lovely pack of liveries. The Supernova team seems to be just everywhere though. There's 6 of those cars. 2 of the orange, 2 of the blue, I think, and then 2 of the reds. So a lot of them on the grids. Mazdas last week were fine. I didn't really get to watch much of the Mazdas. I will be joining the commentary on that next race, I believe, with Uncle Tony. So hopefully that'll be a lovely one to tune into. But I was just getting held up a little bit by the traffic there. But he looks like he's clean still. I wouldn't go that far. I would not say that the open wheel is vastly inferior to MX-5s. I mean, MX-5s are great, especially a classic Miata, but I feel like open wheels are just such a technological marvel. But that it's just, I mean, the MX-5 is a technological marvel as well. I don't know how that's actually a car that succeeds in life. But Baz has improved ever so slightly, goes a 10th and a half quicker. 15.2 for him. Yeah, I'm looking forward actually to joining the commentary on that MX-5 series where I raced, and I got that lovely $1 deal for a couple months, or a few months, so I'm set for that one. I'm willing to spend $1 to spectate a few races every month, not willing to spend 30 quid or $30. that's out of my reach. That is not happening. Only a few minutes left of this qualifying session. Jonas Koberstein trying to improve. He does ever so slightly with a 15.9. Gets a massive slide on it. Looked like he was sliding a lot during that lap as well. The car running very loose. It's a lovely, lovely livery, that one, the Valvoline. Sort of blue, cayenne, red and white. It is a lovely one. I've actually got a roast dinner in front of me right now, so during the break between qualifying and the race, I'll probably put on some music and I'll try and scoff this down as quick as I can. So just bear that in mind. But for now, you have to bear with me and put up with my voice for just a few more minutes. And a bit of a lock up there for Jonas. I've just noticed his side of the car says Cummins. It's worth a lot more to see the mayhem of Baz. Well, apparently the MX-5 race was actually pretty well behaved. According to, well, based on what I've seen and what I've read from people. I feel like this is going to be a lot more mayhem, this open wheel. Maybe the Mazdas were a bit better racing, though. I'll concede that, because obviously I've seen a couple clips of like 7 people battling for the lead. That's pretty mad. But in terms of mayhem, I think open wheel's probably got to rule that category. Ooh, Jonas with a big tank slapper there. That's going to ruin that lap for sure. But Tom Basley is on a flyer. A 10th up on the session best in the first sector currently. As he heads towards the S's, the final sector of the lap, a little bit down in the second sector. He's pretty much on par with Baz's time. Just needs to get the final couple of hairpins correct. And now up the hill towards Goddard's. Got a couple cars ahead of him. One trying to warm the tyres up, and that's going to be awful for Tom. Oh, has to dive out the way, and there's people setting up laps, and it's just a bit of carnage right now. But he does manage to scoot his way through. Probably not his ideal line. Does he manage to set a new best lap? No. It's only good enough for second. 15.378 for him. Baz Boomer goes even quicker as well. 15.1. He's going for the overtake into the first corner. Oh, and he's messed it all up, and he's in the gravel. Oh, that's not gone well for him. Pete Roll on a lap, 0.07 of a second off the fastest time in Sector 1. Is a master volume of the stream kind of low? I don't think so. Maybe we should try turning it up, I guess. I could try turning it up a bit more, but it's pretty much at max. Have you gone for a hearing check recently? Pete Roll through the final corner. Can he improve his time running all the way up the curbs? Does not manage to improve his position. And he decides to bin the car in frustration. Not many, well, I don't think anyone's on a lap currently. Everyone's just going slowly and or off the track. We see the final few cars enter the pits, and this will be where I put some music on and have something to eat. But I will go through the quality results quickly. Oh, actually, I'll put the quality results up, but I'm going to put music on and eat, okay? Cheers.
I just don't get you. You fall asleep when I get up. Those friends you run to, they look at me like they're above. This time don't hesitate.
Okay, I'm back. Right, let's go. We're ready. We're ready to go live. The race is going live. The lights are on. Are we ready for turn 1 chaos? I sure am. Baz Boomer on pole. Tom Basley alongside him. And here they're down towards the first corner. Baz Boomer has the inside line. Can Tom Basley fend him off around the outside? I don't think so. Tom Basley alongside. It's all clean though towards the back. Baz still out in front. Tom Basley on for a run down towards old Hairpin here alongside Baz, but has to bail out of it. And now he's under effect from Pete Roll, who gets towards the outside, heading up the hill to McLean's. Tom actually going to lose the position to Pete and is under threat from Bien Major as well. Those Supernova cars all around him, and he's forced wide by Bien as well. Tom Basley losing positions here, but manages to hold on to that 3rd place. And now the carnage will settle down a little bit. It was actually pretty well behaved from the field. I'm a little disappointed because I only managed to eat 1 roasty and a bit of cauliflower. But Tom almost goes for the send there, locking up his brakes. Has Bien all over the rear of him. Towards the hairpin. Takes a very wide line and will actually lose the position. So that's him down to 4th and not a great start for him. Locks up slightly again. I wonder if his car's having a little bit of stability issues, possibly. Whether the first section of the pack will now filter through and hold their positions by the seams of things. Further back, we do have a lot of carnage happening still. Phil Vitt as Kevin Krause attacking him down the hill, the side-by-side. This could end badly if they're not well behaved, but it looks like they'll give each other plenty of space, but there's a bit of a tap there. Both of them manage to stay together, but there's a spin. Phil Vitt goes out. I don't know who that was, but hit him, but Phil Vitt is spinning right around, baby. And he is dropping to the back of the pack. I'm not sure who else was caught up in that, possibly Dedang. But there's going to be a lot of damage in that one. That's going to require some repairs in this feature race, and putting these people out of contention to get that top 8 reverse grid. That is an important position to be in. You almost prefer to sit in that 8th position rather than try and move your way further up the field to get a better start for the second race in some circumstances. Whether Michael still got a couple cars around him. That's Stephen Mundy behind and Soggy in front. He's under attack from that retro car. Stephen Mundy, the driver. Baz still setting new fastest laps here on the second lap of the race. Ooh, a big tank slapper from Stephen Mundy as it came out of Redgate there. And now down the hill. That's given Michael a lot of space to attack Stoggy if he wants to. Meanwhile, also down the hill, up the hill to McLean's. Samuel with a bit of an attempt on towards Tadang there. Didn't quite work out as it looked like they were getting very out of shape and a couple more cars behind. Oh, ever so close there. Oh my lord, Tadang getting very slow out of that first corner, and there's contact between the teammates. Samuel makes contact with Petter there. And there's a bit of a 4-way scrap now as he's side by side with Dedang down towards the S's. I've just noticed that all 3 of those cars are the number 19. That will not get confusing. Samuel slots in behind the Carl Simsport car. But he's still trying to attack. Oh, has to go heavy on the brakes there. Expecting the car in front to carry a bit more speed through that corner, but can't do it. And now it's a bit of a train forming. Bit of a truly train. We'll see if cars ahead can break away. It looks like Petter's actually made good of it and is getting a bit of space. But Tyler Tesarupas is in a bit of a battle here as well. Car in front and car behind. That's Phil in front. Dirk behind, and he's over the grass there. And he's alongside, but he's letting the cars go. Dirk gains position. Tyler not able to fight for that position into the old hairpin. The car too out of shape. But there's a lot of a lot of going-ons at the moment. Seems to be settling down a little bit. Michael's still in a battle here, sandwiched between Soggy and Stephen. See if he can get anything going on this next lap. Need to try and get a better run out of one of these corners and collect the slipstream of the car in front. However, Stephen's going to be doing the exact same against him. Kevin Kraus has actually just set the fastest lap. He's currently in P11. Janis Koberstein as well, right on the back of Pete Roll. As now they head up towards McLean's. On board with Koberstein. Has Tom Basley as well behind him. Needs to watch out for that and try and make some sort of attempt here without compromising his position. But down the straight, they all follow the tow, and behind as well there's a bit of battling going on between Michael, Stephen and Voffel, Soggy. I think Stephen has gained the position over Michael. But this battle is what we're focusing on right now. Jonas still under threat with Tom right under his rear wing. It's a question of, does he defend or does he attack? It's not close enough to make an attempt into Redgate this time around. Might be able to get a slipstream down the hill towards Old Hairpin. But it's obviously a dangerous overtaking spot, so high speed. And he is making ground, but not close enough to launch the attack, and actually ends up going a little bit too deep into that corner. But he's okay for now. A little bit wide through McLean's. Carries a lot more speed for the entrance to that corner there. I can't remember what its name actually is. I think it's Coppice. That's the one. Carries a lot more speed through the entrance of Coppice than Pete Roll. With a lot tighter exit for Pete Roll than Tom Basley, trying to get it up the inside of Jonas there. Actually ends up spinning up the rear wheels and losing control of the rear end slightly. Does regain it. Doesn't lose any positions, but just a little bit of time lost. Now he's still right on the back of Pete Roll. He seems to have pace over Pete, but just can't find a way past as of yet. 26 minutes left of the race. Again, ever so close into the old hairpin, but oh, he spun! He spun, and that is, luckily it's out the way of the cars approaching. But that's Jonas's challenge for that second position over. He will rejoin the track. Be on his way again, but he's dropped down to 8th now, 9th. Dropped down to 9th position, and his tyres are going to be very scuffed from that one. Meanwhile, there's more cars going off in the background. I think that was Petter. Oh no, Samuel was off in the background by the seams of things. And he has retired along with Jan Hudek. The 2 retirements so far. God, there's just action everywhere right now. It's a struggle to keep up, and I'm scared for the sprint race afterwards with the partial reverse grid. It's going to be a bit of a clown fiesta, possibly. Jeffrey currently chasing BM Major for P11. Phil Vitt has also disconnected third retirement so far from this race. Meanwhile, Voffel, is right on the back of Soggy. He's managed to make his way past Jonas Koberstein and is now... Oh, he's spun as well. Can he recover it? Ever so slightly recovers it. Doesn't do a full spin, but will have to take to the grass. And there's a lot of people losing control of the cars currently. It's... So everyone's being pushed to the limits. Meanwhile, Dadang trying to make a pass on Dirk here. Has a little look, but not enough space into the S's to make it work. Petto has just made his way past Hugh Messenger for P19. Petto was up the field earlier, dropped back, guessing after a spin. Been plenty of those so far. Pete Roll under massive attack from Tom Basley right now. Down towards the S's. Tom, is he going to try it down the inside? It looks like he is. Oh, is it going to be contact? It's ever so tight. They rub shoulders. But they managed to make it through together. Still side by side. Now down towards the hairpin. Pete Roll got the inside line. Will be able to force Tom a little bit wide. And oh, the rubbing shoulders constantly. A little bang of wheels as well. Now towards Goddard's, and Pete forces... Oh, sorry, Tom forces Pete to go wide, and that is actually Tom gaining the position, but Pete's right back on the attack now. So now they head down towards Redgate, turn 1. Pete around the outside, is he going to be able to make it stick? No, he backs out of it. Tom holds the position now as they head down towards the hill. Sorry, down the hill. Towards the old hairpin. Does Pete want to continue the fight for this position? Running off the track slightly there on the exit of the old hairpin. It's a little bit bumpy out there. We'll just lose you a little bit of time. But he's staying with Tom for the time being. Does have a pack of cars coming up behind him as well, headed by Timmy. This could be a battle that erupts soon between these Supernova cars, the blue ones. Tom Basley has actually made it back to where he started this race. However, Baz Baumer is now 7 seconds ahead of him, so it's a tall order to try and recover that gap. Jonas actually getting a nice exit on the attack against Soggy down the back main straight. It's not quite close enough though. Is he going to be able to try it around the outside of Redgate? He's going to actually try the cutback. Not quite close enough and not enough power out of that corner to get it working properly. But down the hill he's building up a lot of speed. Can't find a gap and has to back out of it. And slotting behind for the run through the old hairpin. And Soggy actually runs a little bit wide. Is that going to allow Jonas another opportunity up towards McLean's? I don't think so. Not quite close enough. Jonas going to spend a little bit longer behind the back of that car. Now towards the S is not really an overtaking spot. However, Tom Basley showed us lap earlier how it can be used as one. Thomas actually just set a fastest lap, so he's beginning his charge towards Baz Baumer. And oh, Jonas with a lovely undercut there through Goddard's on towards Soggy. That's granted in P8, but now there's also Bien Major joining the battle, and he's right on the tail of Soggy. The the other Supernova car as they head down towards the hill, and this might be Soggy dropping to P10 relatively soon. As I was saying, Tom Basley was about half a second quicker that lap compared to Baz. So that's going to be an interesting battle if that develops further, if Baz Baumer can actually up the pace a little bit more. Remains to be seen. God, it's amazing how late they can break into that, into the S's there, and how much speed gets carried through. It's interesting the different lines people take as well through these hairpins. Some go deeper. BM Major goes for the send, but he loses it under the brakes. I think he may have just been caught out a little bit by Soggy and the braking point of that car. And now he's actually under attack from Voffel. Bright yellow, almost retro livery. It's not quite the retro one that we have, the Renault one, but this one is pretty close to it. Always confuses me. Famos from a different postal code. If in doubt, just send it. Tom Basley sets another fastest lap. That one was only a tenth quicker than Baz on that lap, but he's bringing the gap down ever so slightly. Current sits at 7 seconds as he crosses the line, but Bien, bit of a slide coming out of Redgate there, holds it beautifully as he begins his charge back towards Soggy again. Top positions are relatively sorted at the moment. Some decent gaps between motor drivers means that not much action will be happening towards the front for a little while. But Bien, he's going for the send again. Gets alongside Soggy, gets it done under the braking zone, and manages to keep it clean through the corner. And that's the position gained for him against Soggy. And actually has to just go defensive into the next corner and locks up, giving Soggy a chance of a comeback, but I don't think he'll be able to make it work. I think Bien's going to have that one sorted and a couple cars into the pits. Voffel, Jonas, Koberstein into the pits. Meanwhile, Sylvain Villette, he's trying to claw his way back towards Jeffrey here. It's the car in front. And Voffel is actually right on the tail of Freddie right now. Voffel just come out the pits. Has just gone onto the set of soft tyres. Most people starting the race with mediums or hards. And now Voffel electing to move on to the soft tyres. Baz has set a new fastest lap actually. And that has absolutely trumped what Tom was able to do. Baz has done a 1:16 dead. And Tom Basley's time was a 1:17.9. So 1.9 seconds between the two of them now on that previous lap, and that means that it was a 8.9 second gap. And oh, was that a bit of contact there between Voffel and Freddie? I think it was. As I was looking at the lap times, the timing board, bit of contact between the two of them, but Voffel gains the position, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that one. Yeah, I just watched it back. Definitely a little bit of contact there between Voffel into the back of Freddie. And while Kevin Kraus is on the hunt as well, Supiyam is his target. A few attempts between them. Kevin getting all the way up on the curb there for the entrance to the S's. And he's decided to send it straight down the inside of Supiyam. A little bit of contact there between them, and he manages to get through. But that's really put Supiyam now in a difficult position as he has a couple cars behind him as well, who will be chomping at the bit to try and make a way past and gain a few more positions. Well, Supiyam actually now staying with Kevin. Still under his tail as he head down the hill. For one more time, 13 minutes left in the race. Oh, and Supiyam into the gravel. Gets it very wrong going into the hairpin. As we watch from the back of Kevin Krause's car, that's Supiyam taking a trip through the dusty stuff. And that's dropped him now down to 12th position. And that lovely black and red Aces car has his teammate behind him now. Phil able to make his way past Tyler there. Just coming out of McLean's. That's moved him up to P16. And meanwhile, Jonas Koberstein on the attack once again. Has Sylvain Villette ahead of him. As I believe, did a car just disappear there? Am I going insane, or did a car just disappear on that main straight? Was that Jeffrey who just disappeared? I have no idea anymore. But down the hill, side by side, Jonas towards the outside, and now the inside through the old hairpin. He makes it stick, and the boy was at a bit of a dangerous move, but Sylvain Villette looks like he might want to try and come back against Jonas here. Tail right under the rear wing of that Koberstein car, but a little bit of a lock-up from Villette means that Koberstein going to be able to hold on to that position as he head through Coppice. I always forget that corner. Forget its name. But a move stuck there for Jonas Koberstein. That's moved him up into P9. One more position and he'll be in the prime spot for the reverse grid in the next race. P8. Oh, sorry, the top 8 are reversed for the sprint race. So that means that Jonas Koberstein, if he does make it into P8, will be on the pole position for the short sprint race. Currently it's Kevin Krause who will be looking to try and hold that position if he can. 7th or 8th are really the prime spots you want to be for a good position in that next race. Michael has made his way onto the back of Soggy's car now. Heading down towards the S's. Don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move here. Jeffrey, meanwhile, has disconnected from the server. No, Michael won't attempt to move there, but he is trying to put himself in a good position for these couple of hairpins. Might be able to make a move into Goddard's, but I feel like he's too far behind. Just runs a wheel over the grass slightly there on the exit. Over the hairpin and out through Goddard's. Nowhere near close enough to make any sort of move stick, and he'll have to bide his time for a little bit longer. Currently fighting for a P6 position against Soggy. Stephen Mundy as well has disconnected. That is our 5th retirement from this race, unfortunately. Got a lot more speed through Coppice, carried by Michael there. However, a lot cleaner line for Soggy. Just collecting the slipstream towards the S's. Oh, Michael's got a brilliant run as Soggy gets a little bit out of control through the S's. And that's given him the perfect run now towards the hairpin, and that's a position gain for him. I don't think Soggy can fight back on this one. He is still with Michael, but not close enough to challenge into Goddard's without really sending it. So that's a position gain for Michael, now up to P6. Good race for him. Whether he'll be looking for a little bit more, and currently P6 is a decent position for a sprint race start. P3 for the sprint race, and I don't think he's going to be able to claim or catch up to the Major ahead of him. That's a 7-second deficit, which I don't think he'll be able to pull back. Pete Roll started closing the gap on towards Tom Bazzi a little bit. 7 tenths between these two up at the front. Might bring something spicy about with 8 minutes left of the race. Baz Belmer certainly in control of this one. Over 10 seconds the gap between him and P2. Supiam is looking to recover as well. It's on the tail of Sylvain Villette. After that run through the gravel at the exit of Old Hairpin, Supiam will be looking to try and make up at least some positions. Oh, a little bit of a lock up and a little bit of a touch there, but Supiam now pulls alongside Sylvain. Though he's not close enough, tries around the outsides of Goddard's. Is he going to be able to hold it? I think he is. Gets a good run out the corner as he heads side by side down towards Redgate. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to be able to make it stick through turn 1. Position gain for Supiam and a position lost for Sylvain Villette there. But Sylvain doesn't look done just yet. He's looking to fight back. But he drops off a little bit through the Old Hairpin and giving Supiam a little bit of breathing room. Meanwhile, Supiam's teammate now on the offensive against Sylvain, who has been slowed down after the battle with Supiam. And a good bit of slipstream here. Is Dirk going to try it? No, he's not. But it causes Sylvain to go wide and cut part of the S's there. And now he's alongside, heading down towards the hairpin, and he's in front. That's Sylvain losing now another position, dropping down to P12. Dirk moving into P11. Unfortunate for Sylvain there. Got a bit flustered, I think, by Dirk, having a little inquisition in towards the inside of the S's. Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition. Sylvain definitely didn't expect Dirk's Inquisition, that's for sure. You know, at the front, Pete Roll and Tom are, well, they were pretty evenly matched, still around just under the 1 second mark, but I think Pete had a little bit of a moment coming out of the hairpin. slowed him down a little bit. Tom Basley has set a new fastest lap of the race. On his effort to try and close some of the gap to Baz, I don't think it's going to happen though with 5 minutes left. While Voffel is embroiled in a battle here between Freddie and Double Phil. He's got Freddie ahead of him and Phil behind. This is a good freeway battle developing here. Voffel gets it a little bit wide. Out of the hairpin towards Goddard's. Whether he's holding onto that P14. 4 minutes left, or just over 4 minutes left, and this looks like it could be a battle going all the way to the flag right now. Now down the hill, Voffel looks menacing. Right in the tail of Freddie. But oh, he's losing it. He gets it sideways coming through Old Hairpin. And that is a little bit of a save for Voffel there. Managing not to completely spin it round. Only losing one position in a couple of seconds. Rather than what could have been a lot worse. And now Phil is going to be the one who has a clean shot at Freddie. Closes the gap a little bit. Just over 3 minutes left, a few more laps to go. Can Freddie hold on to this P13? Probably, yeah, to be honest. Phil has to close the gap still slightly, and they've got a few laps to do that and make a pass. Meanwhile, Jonas Koberstein is on the back of Kevin Kraus, and meanwhile there's a car ahead in the crossing the dirt. That was a lapped car. And Jonas is trying to make the pass on Kevin Kraus. Whoever wins out in this battle is going to manage to make their way onto the, well, make their way into the top 8 for that reverse grid. So Kevin Kraus is desperately going to try and hold on to that one as we see one of the Carl cars spinning out there out of the hairpin across our screen. And just ahead of Kevin is actually Soggy as well, who's in P7, who also will want to hold on to that position for the same reason as I just mentioned. Another car over on the right side is just having a bit of a stroll through the grass and almost comes out in front of Jonas there. That could have been very dangerous indeed. Jonas right behind Kevin, but unable to find a way in towards Coppice. Will have to remain behind through that corner. A minute and a half left on the clock. The Dang has retired. I saw 6th retirement, and Jonas trying to squeeze the car around the outside on the entrance to the S's, but he gets the rear a bit loose and ends up having to actually drop back a little bit from Kevin. That's given him a little bit of breathing room now as we head into the final couple of laps. I believe we'll have 2 more for these drivers. Meanwhile, Pete Roll right on the back of Tom Basley. Up towards McLean's, side by side. But Tom gets a massive tank slapper on and actually ends up rejoining just in front of Pete Roll, who has to brake to avoid him. Well, teams, never mind, that's not team behind. That is a lapped car. So Pete Roll is entirely embroiled in this battle now with Tom, and hopefully that car behind does not get involved in this. This battle for P2 heating up. Can Tom Basley hold on for one more lap? Baz Boomer has started the final lap. So this will be the final lap of the race for these drivers. Tom looks in a prime position to keep Pete behind him for just one more lap. A few attempts between them. Pete's kind of going to try up again up towards McLean's now. If he's not as close as he was the last lap, and slots in behind as they head now towards Coppice. Tom's still in control, half the lap to go. Meanwhile, Jonas hasn't found a way past Kevin Kraus. They're still battling for P8. Now through into the final couple of corners. I don't think Pete's going to be able to make his way past. I think he's probably going to have to settle for P3 here. Especially as he gets very wide on the exit, but Baz Boomer has won the race. And now through the final corner, Tom will make it through cleanly and secure a P2. Meanwhile, the battle for P7, 8 and 9 is heating up as Kevin goes side by side with Soggy, and that allows Jonas Koberstein to go through on the inside as they get bogged down through the S's. So Koberstein takes P7 from Soggy. Soggy now battling to try and keep P8, but Kevin's made it his way past and takes that position. And it looks like Jonas and Kevin will actually secure the final 2 spots of that reverse grid as Soggy loses out on all of that. And that will be the end results for them. Supiam will cross the line in 10th. Dirk will come around in 11th. Sylvan is in the 12th, and Phil will be the last one to come across the line in 13th. The rest have already finished. That'll be Voffel 14th, Freddie 15th, Hugh 16th, Tyler in 17th, and Petter in 18th. The rest are retirements. And now we'll have a brief interlude as as the server gets shut down to sort out the reverse grid, basically. So we'll be back in a few moments onto the next race. So there'll be a few minutes while the server's restarted, and then a few minutes while we wait for everyone to hop in the server. So I'll just give you those results now for that first race. It will be Baz Baumer taking the win. Beautiful 16 seconds ahead of P2, which will be Tom Basley, and then Pete rolling third. Bien Major fourth. Timmy in fifth. Michael in fifth, and I don't have enough time to read the rest of them. But Double Phil 12th, Voffel 13th, Freddie 14th, Hugh Messenger in 15th, Tyler in 16th, and Petter in 17th, and the rest were retirements who were Dedang, Stephen Mundy, Jeffrey, Philvit, Samuel, and Jan Hudek. So, as I said, we will just take a brief interlude while we wait for the next race to go live. In the meantime, I'll put on some light music for you to just chill out to. And I'll be back shortly. Also, I need to finish eating my food, which has probably gone cold by now. So, yeah, that's that. So, enjoy this music, I guess.
I stayed awake last night, 'cause I couldn't close my eyes and see you another night. I drove myself crazy thinking you take my wildest dreams and tear them all to the ground. So I tried to create a decoy world for you to destroy in my mind. You could stay and believe you're tearing me apart while I'm coming to life, while I'm coming to life. I couldn't keep the secret. You found my darkest demons and brought them out in the light. So I ran to all the preachers, despite having every reason to shut down and mobilize. So I prayed to the gods for one last saving grace against all odds. And I built an escape using all my energy just to come back to life. I changed, started acting strange, had my life in my own hands. Meanwhile, I was wasting time, thinking things were fine, but you had other plans. Behind your weak disguise, all the worthless lies, it was wrong and now I know. Don't think that I won't try, this is not goodbye. Turns out I'm on my own. I won't let it go. The right and wrong that you pretend to know. I'm finding my heart and burns in your shadow. The silver lining can begin to rust, and now I get who I can and cannot trust. I won't let it go. You cross the line, cross the line. Take back what's mine, take back what's mine. You play your game, they played your games. I'm not the same, not the same. I won't let it go. All my life I've been pushed around, always lost, not found, but I didn't realize. Like a giant standing in my way, leading me astray. Now it's time for me to rise. I knew I had to find myself. Turns out I'm on my own. I won't let it go. The right and wrong that you pretend to know. I'm finding my heart and burns in your shadow. The silver lining can begin to rust, and now I get who I can and cannot trust. I won't let it go.
Hello, I'm back. Unfortunately for you, we're gonna have a little browse of these cats while we wait for the race to go live. Still a couple of minutes, because for some reason they restarted the server because they thought I wasn't in it. So I mean, this one on the screen right now is a real cute one. Do cats cry? I don't know. I've never seen a cat cry, and I had one for 13 years. Even more actually. Never saw it cry once. Cats do love a little chin rub. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, oh, right. So recently, my neck's like the left side of my neck's been hurting every single time I sneeze. I don't know why. It's happened for like a week now. Anybody know? Any like Dr. Phils in here? WebMD experts? Know why that's happening? But yeah, that's a cute cat. Let's have a look at some woofers. Dogs. Oh, don't know if I like pugs or not. It's I mean, it look cute, but they're just not. They're just not cute, are they? That's a cute pupper. That is a very cute pupper. Oh, look at this lineup of puppers. Well, these aren't puppers, these are woofers. Okay, I should probably stop doing this now because it's 40 seconds until the race starts. So yeah. Let's put this one live. Here we are. We're ready, and we're ready to go live on this one. 10 seconds until it's lights out. Oh, and we're away. I did not see the lights at all, but here we go. Jonas Koberstein gets a good run down towards the first corner on the outside of Kevin Kraus, where he's under attack from Pete Roll, who's had a blinder of a start there. And someone's lost a wheel, I think. Or was that... I feel like someone's lost a wheel there. What is happening? Why has he got no wheels? Oh, there's contact of a head. Yeah, Jonas gets tagged by Pete. Why does... Right. Oh, my stomach hurts. It's ended up with Pete Roll in the lead, Jonas Koberstein leading the train behind them. He doesn't have any wheels either, and he's across the grass. Someone took a small trip through the gravel. Oh no. This is not going to be easy for me. This is not going to be easy. Oh. Oh, Tom Basley taking a very wide run through that gravel and ends up losing the position now to Dirk as well. Oh. Okay. I'm back in the room. Whew. I need to stop watching this. Baz Baumer on the attack against Michael. He's trying to work his way back through the field now. Started in 8th. Pete's had a great start. He was in 3rd at the restart, and he's already up into pole. So if he can begin to make a bit of distance now, that'll serve him great, and hopefully he'll be able to stop the charge of Baz, who's actually running a little bit wide there out of Redgate. Down the hill, he has the no-wheeled car of Timmy in his mirrors. It's handling very well. The weight reduction must be serving it well. And oh, is this a preview of what's to come for the new 2021 rules in F1? We will find out, but for now, bien Monsieur, he's on the inside of Jonas and into P2. The aerodynamic efficiency of not having wheels has only just been realised. Oh, And actually, Bien is now into the lead. Where has Pete gone? Pete has dropped all the... Oh, actually, Pete's into the pits. He's now down in 12th, 13th. I wonder if he's had damage from that opening lap. Okay, never mind. Wait, what? He's back into Pete. Let's just... Okay, he's in the pits, but he's in the lead. This is... Something's gone bonkers there. So I feel like PM Major is leading the race, and Pete's maybe had some connection issues. Is what I'd suggest on this one. So that puts the two-wheeled Supernova car into the lead by the sounds of things. Baz Balmer actually trying to make an attempt on towards Michael. And oh, the cutback! It's beautiful as he tries around the outside of the S's now. And he's actually made the position stick before they get to the hairpin. Oh, Pete got a drive-through for the jump start. Ah, makes sense. But now, Baz into P4. Actually, in a great spot now as we see Pete Roll fall down the order. I think there is still some glitchiness on those graphics for where Pete actually is. I feel like he may have disconnected rather than serving the drive-through. He was DQ'd. Ah. Interesting. That is very interesting. And actually, Dirk under attack from Tom Basley here. Over towards McLean's. There's a car off onto the side of the road. Tom's got the inside, which will be the outside for McLean's, but it feels like he's already got it done. The car a little bit sideways there, but keeps it under control. Dirk back on the attack. Up towards Coppice. Not going to be able to make that one work. And actually, he's going to try and cut back, but he's right under the rear of Tom Basley. It's almost a push, and what the hell is that? The ultra grip has been enabled, and Dirk slides out from the rear of Tom Basley in extraordinary fashion. Will have to slot him back behind before they get to the S's, though. And actually ends up dropping behind a little bit. Meanwhile, Sam... I mean, we've had the, like... There's so many of them without front wheels. What is this? We've seen the six-wheel Tyrrell. We've never had someone attempt to enter a two-wheeled car into a Formula race. Oh God. Oh, and one of them has actually spun out. The front grip must be extraordinarily low for these cars. With that lack of front wheels. And as we see Peter onto the grass as well. And now he's over into the barriers, out of the old hairpin. And that is a big bump for him. And that might be race over. He has indeed disconnected. And now Samuel on the attack, trying to get around double Phil here. Actually has Sylvian as well behind him. As they both try and make it a pass on towards Phil. And Samuel's made his way through. Phil having to go a little bit over the inside of the S's there. As he tries to hold his position against Sylvan. Very deep into the corner. Will he attempt to cut back here? Not close enough to do that. As he goes a bit too deep. And that will be double Phil losing a couple of positions to Samuel and Sylvian. Meanwhile, Voffel, he's still on trucking. Got Freddie in his sights up ahead of him. About half a second between them. As he tries to close the gap between them now. Oh, my cheeks are burning. Ugh. That's absolutely buckled me. Why do I have to watch this? Meanwhile, a bit further back, Double Phil is trying an attack on Sylvan Villette. Sylvan actually goes very deep into the S's and has to cut across the gravel, and that's given Phil the position back once again, up to P13 for him. And a bit of space in front and behind him now, which I'm sure he'll be happy about. Freddie sets a new personal best as he has Voffel catching him, or attempting to anyway. Gap remains about the same between the two of them as he head downhill towards the old hairpin. I can't deal with these wheels, it's just unreasonable. Why has a set of course done that? I might just have to spectate only people who have all four wheels. Because otherwise it's just unreasonable. Yeah. Tyre warmers not allowed. Tyre sealers are allowed. Also, all four tyres not required. Timmy attempting to close the gap to Soggy here. Now towards turn one. Oof. It looks like one of those like wipeout cars from this angle. Like from that vintage game. Like the ones that just like hover around the tracks. Getting a lovely run there on towards Soggy. A little bit of oversteer though on the exit of McLean's. And he actually runs very wide as well into Coppice. Keeps it on the black stuff, but loses a bit of time to Soggy now. So now they head towards the S's. Timmy getting another good run out of that final corner. Meanwhile, up ahead, Freddie is trying to fend off the assault from Voffel here. Oh, actually, sorry, Voffel's made his way past. Now Freddie trying to make up the ground again. However, I believe Voffel has the better pace. Obviously, the missing front wheels at the front providing greater aerodynamic efficiency. Oh, no. That's actually an interesting thing to test. Will you actually still be smoke lockup? And Tom Basley going very slowly there. He's managed to get passed by Voffel, now under threat from Freddie. Must have had a moment through Coppice or out of McLean's there. And now he's between the two battling drivers. So we'll see if he can recover from this one again. Tom struggling a bit in these couple of races. I mean, still finished second in the first race, but quite a way off what Baz was able to do. I don't think Freddie has the pace to close up that gap to Tom. Meanwhile, Baz is actually closing the gap to Jonas Koberstein. Under 1 second now between the two of them. Just noticed as well, on the onboards, the tyres aren't actually spinning. Like, have a look at Baz. These cars are just like straight defying physics right now. Baz, even with his stationary tyres, is all over the back of Jonas. Trying to find any sort of way past. Meanwhile, Voffel side by side with Tom Basley coming towards Goddard's. Tom's got the outside line. He's going to have to try and cut back, and it looks like he will. Voffel going very deep as he exits side by side once again. Tom looks like he's secured that position now. Through Redgate, he will hold it. If we jump back to the battle for P2, Baz still on the tail of Jonas. The Dang has disconnected. That's our third retirement so far. And yes, the tyres are very majorly messed up in this race for some reason. They are not turning, they're not spinning. Everyone's just like... Timmy's disconnected as well. This is just... I don't know what to say about these tyres. It's just... I mean... madness. But we do have a battle ongoing still for position 2 here. Jonas still the one heading Baz, so don't think Baz will be able to make his way onto a win for this race. I think BM Major is probably too far ahead with 9 minutes left of the race. 3.5 seconds would be the gap to make up if Baz was to make his way past now. However, Jonas slow out of Old Hairpin. It has given Baz the outside line up towards McLean's, and I think he's made it stick. He has indeed, gets it undone under the brakes. And that's a little mistake from Jonas, giving Baz that position. And it's saying 4.5 seconds between Baz and Bien Major. I don't think that's possible to make up. But we'll see what kind of lap times Baz can bang out in the clean air. Meanwhile, Tom Basley on the back of Dirk. He's going to be wanting to make up some positions again. Currently in P6. He wants him to claim that P5 from Dirk. Dirk still holding his ground as they head through Goddard's. Tom trying his best to make up some bit of time. And actually Tom trying to get up the inside through turn 1 and now down the hill side by side. Dirk goes very wide, gives Tom a lot of space and actually gives him the position there. Tom taking full advantage of that one, and Dirk probably gave more space than he needed on that one, but perhaps valued his life more than the position. Meanwhile, in terms of lap times, the previous lap, Bien and Baz both did a 16.3. So no changes there, but we'll see what Baz is able to do coming across the line this time. Baz does a 16.2 and Bien does a 16.3. So not much of a game there. Only a tenth, or well, less than a tenth to be honest. Means that it's going to take a lot more than that to gain these 4.5 seconds between the two of them. Meanwhile, Samuel, 2 cars, only 4 battles. Sorry, I cannot speak. Only I've messed that one up, truly. 2 cars, only 4 wheels, is what I meant to say. Neither of these cars have the front wheels as they head down towards the old hairpin, but Samuel takes a little bit of a detour over the grass. I wonder if not having front wheels means that he doesn't actually collect any dirt on them. with Samuel as he tries to close this gap ever so slightly, half a tenth or half a second between the two of them. This is the only real battle ongoing at the moment. Samuel just going to try and work this gap down as much as he can and get in a position to overtake, however, currently just a little bit too far out. In terms of previous lap times, Bien Major did a 16.2 and Baz did a 16.1, so again less than a tenth of difference between them. So with just under 5 minutes, there's really not much chance of them being able to battle unless Bien Major makes some sort of mistake that would cost him about 4 seconds, but the only thing I can imagine, don't show this, we look unprofessional. I mean, do I have much choice? Do I have much choice? It's all gone bonkers, and I love it. I absolutely love it. The first race was brilliant, though. Every single car had 4 wheels. Just under 4 minutes left. Sam and Jan actually both taking a pretty similar line, just cutting the grass slightly. Through the old hairpin for another lap. And Samuel, this is actually the closest he's been up towards McLean's. I thought there might have been a bit of contact there, but Samuel ends up going through the gravel a little bit on his quest and has ended up losing a lot of time to Jan there as he gets out of shape through McLean's. So now Sam has to try and claw back that 1.2 seconds he's just lost. Meanwhile, up at the front, Baz really not able to catch Bien Major at any sort of outstanding rate. 15.896 the last lap, and a 16.0 for Bien Major. Again, just like a tenth of difference as they both keep just ever so slightly increasing the lap time. So, I mean, Baz has whittled whittled the time down from about 4.5 seconds to 3.5 seconds, but there's really not much chance of him gaining in these last couple of minutes to make any sort of pass attempt. And the rest of the order seems pretty settled in as well. Just a couple of minutes left of this race. I don't think anyone's going to be able to make any big moves. Samuel is closing up on Jan again. So we'll see if he can make something stick this time around. It's looking like there's probably going to be 2 laps to go. So that's 2 laps to close this gap and make an attempt. Just under half a second between the two of them. He's still closing up ever so slightly as now as he head towards Coppice. Battle of the two-wheelers is probably going to start raging relatively soon. Baz has set a new fastest lap. 15.6 for him. That's half a second quicker than what Bien Major was able to do, but it's too little too late, really. The gap down to 3.3 seconds. Really not close enough at all with one lap left for them. Meanwhile, Samuel might have a chance to do something here. As they head down the straight to start their final lap. We will complete 19 laps through this race, so the gap between these two only... Oh! Sorry, Jan Hudek actually spins out. And that's granted Samuel P9. That was not what I was expecting, and I was a bit of a anticlimax at the end of that battle. I was hoping for a little bit of something to sparkle at the end of this race with. Whether we will be able to see Bien Major cross the line to claim the race win here, and his teammate will follow him across the line. That's Baz Boomer, or Baumer. I should probably pronounce his name correctly. Meanwhile, Jonas Koberstein will finish in third. Michael will finish in fourth. Tom Basley will come home in fifth by the looks of things. Oh lord, everyone's hitting the walls. But Dirk will finish in sixth, Voffel seventh. Soggy looks to come across the line in eighth, and his teammate Samuel behind in ninth. Well, I say teammate, they're just running the same livery, they're not really teammates, I don't think. Jan Hudek will finish 10th after his spin. Freddie will come across the line in 11th. Sylvain Villette, he's in 12th, and Double Phil has already finished in 13th. Hugh Messenger will finish in 14th. And that will be the end results for this sprint race. Which I'll go through again now. As we have a pile-up of two-wheeled cars here at the end of the front straight. And Sylvan, that was an awful donut. Truly awful. So, it will be Bien Major to take the sprint race victory. Baz Baumer is finishing just behind him. Jonas Kober standing third. Michael Kundaki-Kurolo in fourth. Tom Basley in fifth. Dirk in sixth. Voffel in seventh. Soggy in eighth. Samuel in ninth. Jan Hudek in 10th. Freddie in 11th. Double Phil in 13th. Hugh Messenger in 14th. Timmy in 15th. Dadang... Oh, well, sorry, I should say Timmy, Dadang, Petter, and Pete Roll, all non-finishers. Don't be confused by them looking one number lower than what I was actually saying on that bit. That's just because it broke, essentially. It just broke. So it's put two people in P4. However, that will be the end of the sprint race, and that will be the end of today's coverage. Oh, as we look at cats again, I forgot that was on. Which are your favourite cats? I like the one on the right there, having his chin stroked. Let's just remove that. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to do any commentary. Well, it's not commentary. I've just been doing commentary. I've not been able to do any interviewing for today. I have matters to attend to that I need to rush off. But thanks for joining me on this one. It's been a pleasure to commentate for you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed it, even with our two-wheeled two-wheeled fiasco in that sprint race. I hope you've enjoyed it. It certainly made me laugh, and I hope you'll join me for the next round, which will actually be in Germany at the Nürburgring. So that'll be a fun one. And if you're not interested in the Formula 3, there's the Mazda iRacing MX5 Cup going on as well at the same time. That will, well, I'll say at the same time, is sort of in parallel with the with this F3 season. I really cannot talk. And that will there's a coverage of that as well. Uncle Tony did a great job on the first race, and I may be joining him for a bit of commentary on the next race, which will be at Charlotte. So hopefully that'll be a good one as well if you're interested in that. I believe it's actually a nighttime race as well, so that will probably be a lot of madness in that one, a lot of headlights spinning around if you're interested in that. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed everything, and I'll see you on the next race. Bye for now.